In today's video, you're going to learn how to create a WordPress pop-up form using mail opt-in. And for this demonstration, we'll be working with this documentation. And I'll be leaving a link to this in the description down below so you can go ahead and follow along. All right, so to begin from WordPress, hover over mail opt-in over on the left-hand side and go to opt-in campaigns. And on the next page at the top, click on add new. And here we need to name our opt-in, so I'm going to call this pop-up. Then we can choose the opt-in type from this list. You can always customize whichever one you choose. All right, so let's choose this one over here. Okay, so here it is. We can now start designing and configuring this pop-up. So we can hover and click on any element and move over to the left-hand side to configure it. So as an example, here's how we hide the image. So we can just go through each and every element to make our changes. Here's one more example. I'll click on the button and I'll move to the left-hand side to change the button's background color. All right, so that's good so far. Now, let's scroll up on the left and we'll go back. And also keep in mind that every tab from design to fields changes the visual configuration of your opt-in. Moving on to the configuration tab, we'll see an option to hide the close button, which hides this X. And also by default, we have an option to close the pop-up once the overlay is clicked. We can also add some cool little sound effects to it. For example, we can add a beep or a pop. And there are also options to configure cookie duration as well as success cookie duration. If you want to, you can also remove mail opt-in's branding, but if you keep it on, you have the option to set your affiliate link to make some money. Alright, now moving on to the integrations tab, we can choose whether we'd like the submissions on our form to go to mail opt-in leads only. All we need to do is turn on this option. However, if we'd like our leads to go to our CRMs and email marketing software, go to new integration, click on the drop down to expand it, and simply select an option from this list. In my case, I'll use MailerLite. And my email list under MailerLite is tutorial, so I'll select this one as well. All right, so this is how you set up integrations for your opt-in form. Now, we actually need to turn on this switch so that our opt-in becomes active. Okay, now next we can determine what happens after conversion. And in this tab, the first option lets us choose a success action. By default, it's set to display a success message. If you want, you can choose to simply close the opt-in. You can close the opt-in and reload the page, or you can redirect to a specific URL. This is where we enter our success message. Now, you also have an option to configure an autoresponder for your opt-in campaign. Now, if you want to receive notifications when a new lead signs up, you can enter the email addresses in this field. And the final option lets you enter success triggered scripts. Okay, now let's go back to configure our final set of options. So in the pop-up menu, we'll click on display rules. Okay, let's start with page targeting. So if you want your pop-up to be displayed globally, you can keep this option on. You can also choose whether you'd like it to be shown on the front page, archive page, and search pages. Now, do you want to show it on specific pages or posts? If yes, you can choose your page or post from this list. Now, moving on, you can choose whether you'd like to show it on a specific post category or post tags, post types, and then you can choose where you'd never like it to be displayed. For example, you can choose not to have it displayed on post types, categories, pages, and posts from custom post types. Moving on, we also have options for user targeting as well as device targeting. And then we have triggers. For example, we have click launch. And this option allows you to trigger your pop-up when somebody clicks on an element such as a button, link, or image. All right, so now we can move on to exit intent, which is another trigger. And this one basically allows your pop-up to be displayed at the point when someone tries to leave your website. Let's move on to the next option, which is after X seconds. And this is the one that we're going to use. I'm going to set this to 10. So after 10 seconds of being on a page, this pop-up will show up. Now, there are some more triggers you can use for your opt-ins, but we won't be going over all of them. And finally, we have a schedule option, which allows your pop-up to be displayed between certain times. All right, so once you're done with your configuration, save your changes and go all the way back. And now we're going to test this out to make sure it works. So I'm going to open the website in a new incognito window. Now, remember we set our opt-in to be displayed after 10 seconds, so we just need to wait around for a bit. We can scroll up and down just to kill some time. We're pretty close to 10 seconds, so I think it should be here right now. I'm going to enter a random email address like mailoptinpopuptest@gmail.com. We'll click on subscribe now. We have our success message. Now, if we close this and go to MailerLite, we should see our lead. So once we're in MailerLite, we'll click on subscribers. And here we'll see the email that we just entered. All right, so now you know how to create a pop-up in WordPress with mail opt-in. Thanks for watching and see you next time.